What's up, YouTube? Bandit here, and hopefully this camera setup is working. See when I do this video, so this video may or may not air, if this is looking too far down or not. But yep, just out on the first ride with the new 2021 Snake Venom Street Glide. I have to say, I mean, the bike is extremely comfortable, and as you see, that little H that just popped right there, that's hill hold for the RDRS. All I did was squeeze the brake pretty hard, and now I'm not on the brakes. I'm with the clutch in first gear, and we're on a hill and not moving. So pretty cool features with the new RDRS. This the helmet, the Simpson Mod Bandit Helmet. I also said I'd give a first impressions on that as well. So initial impressions, obviously I just recently left the house, so I haven't been riding with it for very long. It's comfortable, but you definitely can tell that like the cheek pads in the side are pretty loose. The top of it that goes around the crown of your head fits me perfectly, but the cheek pads are pretty loose, so I'm probably gonna try and order a smaller set of cheek pads for like the helmet size down from this one to see if that will help me out. But we'll see how it goes with the ride on how I feel about her. So if any of you are wondering, I'm down here in Florida, so that's kind of where I'm riding around right now. I'm gonna head over to Scenic Highway, and then we can go from there. This bike is very smooth. I mean, let me back up a little bit. So I came from riding sport bikes. I've ridden sport bikes for quite a few years now. I got to a point where my back just couldn't handle the hunched over the tank anymore, so decided to upgrade to a cruiser. Before I made my decision on the Street Glide, I went and rented Street Glide, rented a Road Glide, rented a Street Glide again, rode them several times, both the Street Glide and the Road Glide, to make my decision on which one I liked better. Ended up deciding on the Street Glide. The Road Glide was nice, and I can understand if you're a bigger person why the Road Glide would appeal to you so much more, because everything on the Street Glide is a lot closer. So all this is very close. I can reach out, I can touch it, all of that. Where the Road Glide, you feel like you just have more space. Everything's a lot farther away from you with that fixed fairing shark nose. So me personally, being a smaller guy, it felt like everything was too far away. Like I was having to look way out to see over the front of the bike, and ends up a little VW bug just peeled tires. That's great. Everything was very far away, and I felt like I said I was having to look way over to see in front of the bike, and I just didn't like that feeling. I couldn't reach out and touch the touch screen. I had to like lean way forward, and then at that point my head goes even farther down and I can't see shit. So that was my determining factor on getting the Street Glide over the Road Glide. I never felt a huge difference when it came to the wind that a lot of people talk about, where they're saying, oh, you'll know the difference when, you know, blowing that fairing around, and you won't feel that on the Road Glide, and it'll make a huge difference and you'll never want to go back. I did not notice that. I rode it on the highways. I passed tractor trailers with them both. Yeah, you get blown and you can feel it, but it's nothing so drastic on the Street Glide that you're just like, oh god, I don't want this and I want that Road Glide. So that was just my impression anyways. And personally, I think the Street Glide looks better. I think that Batwing fairing just looks better than what the shark nose fairing does. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. It's pretty windy out today. I'm hoping that all this mic placement and everything works well. So decided on a Street Glide. And if people ask like why I didn't decide to go Indian or why I didn't decide to go another brand, honestly, I've loved Harleys. I grew up around Harleys. My dad has owned Harleys since I was a kid. So that was kind of my thing, was just, I knew the minute that I was gonna go the cruiser route from the sport bike route, which I knew was gonna happen. Like no one, I mean, let me not say no. Most people can't stay on a sport bike that long. Like when you get over a certain age, you're getting older, your back, your body, your bones, just like everything, it's no longer comfortable. So I would ride it for, you know, at most an hour, and then, you know, stop to get gas or stop to get food, whatever it was, and I wouldn't want to get back on the bike. I was just like, I don't want to do this hour ride home. So the last year that I owned the bike, it pretty much became a garage queen. Every now and then I take it to work, which work was a 10-minute ride up the road, and so that was fine, and I'd run it to work and back, but it just pretty much sat in the garage. The old lady wouldn't ride on it. I mean, it's not made for a passenger to begin with that little seat pad. I mean, it shouldn't even be called a seat for the passenger. It's literally just a pad. and it's not comfortable. So decided it was time to upgrade to a cruiser and something that both of us would be comfortable on. So this bike has a ton of features. Like I said, this is about as fully loaded as you can get until you get up into, obviously, your CVOs. Your CVOs are going to have speakers in the back, saddlebag lids. It's going to have a couple little differences here and there. This will be a flush mount fuel cap, which I'm going to install on this bike anyways eventually. The flush mount just looks better than what this one does, just kind of sticking up like this. I do like this new, like, smooth center console that they put on versus the old where that's where your fuel cap was and everything else. I do think that kind of cleaned up the center of the bike a little bit, but it definitely needs that flush mount over there to finish that clean line look, because right now it just like sticks out like a sore thumb. All right, here we go, coming up on Scenic Highway. Yeah, anyways, so that's a little bit about my background and like my riding background. And don't get me wrong, I love sport bikes. I do. I love the speed. I love the adrenaline rush you get when you ride them. I think they're gorgeous looking bikes. They are very sleek and sexy, but it just got to a point where I just can't ride it anymore. Well, I can ride it, I just can't ride it for any amount of time or distance with my back just killing me by the time I get where I'm going. Riding with this helmet a little bit longer, everything still feels fine. Like I said, still loose in the cheeks, so definitely gonna get smaller cheek pads for like the helmet size down. Hopefully that'll help out a little bit. And other than that, yep, so there's the water, guys. Get you guys some good footage. But yeah, it's not a great day. It's kind of overcast, cloudy. Like I said, it's pretty windy. It's been like that the past couple days. So I was like, you know what, at least it's not calling for rain, it's just overcast, so I'll head out, go do a initial ride and review of the bike. Yeah, if anybody sees this video and you're in Florida, in and around the Panhandle area, shoot me a comment and we'll link up and try and go for some rides or something together. I'm definitely antsy to like get this thing out and actually cruise with it and do some distance with it, since that's what it's made to do. Actually, you know what? Let's set cruise control. This will be the first time setting cruise. So there's that, and then press, get up to 50, press down. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Track straight as an arrow too. That's the wind blowing me to the right. But yeah, so shoot me a comment. Maybe we'll hook up, go do some rides together. Looking for people to ride with. I'm relatively new to the area, so I don't know a ton of people down here yet. So I'm definitely looking for people to go hang out with, ride with, have similar interests. For the people who said, you know, the Simpson Mod Bandit is a louder helmet, I would agree. You do get quite a bit of wind noise, and I have the whole like chin bar. I have all those blocked off, so no air is coming through that. It's just coming through, I guess, the top vents, which are open. You can hear the wind noise, but I don't think it's that bad, personally. I've had previous other helmets. I've had Icons, I've had HJCs, I've had a bunch of different helmets and throughout my years of riding, and I would say I've definitely had a lot louder helmets than this, and those were not modulars. So for this being a modular, I think it's perfectly fine with the noise level inside. It's nothing that causes me to get a headache or get annoyed with, anything like that. I think it's a good helmet. Definitely get some miles under it and see how she does. Keep forgetting I have cruise control so I can resume. Bunch of smoke. That car was smoking bad. Goodness, oh god, that stinks. They're burning oil. That is horrible. Yeah, but the bike is super smooth. People talk about the suspension and it kind of bounces you around a lot on these, so a lot of people change them out to like Legend suspension or Öhlins or stuff like that. I can understand where they're getting at. There is some, you know, jarring bumps every now and then when you hit like a small pothole or something, but overall, I mean, coming from a sport bike, suspension is a lot more plush than what I'm used to. So who knows, maybe down the road, you know, having this bike for a year or so and getting quite a bit of mileage on it, and I decide I do want to kind of upgrade the suspension, I might. But for right now, I don't really see a reason to. There's definitely a lot of other upgrades I want to do first, which are pretty much all style. Like I want to get different grips, I want to get taller bars, I want to get different floorboards, I want to get actual floorboards for the passenger instead of just those foot pegs, which will definitely help, because it's less pressure point on your foot. So for longer rides, having boards back there is definitely going to help out the old lady, and she'll appreciate that. and you got to keep the wife happy, right? But yeah, if you guys got any questions or anything, just leave it in the comments below, and hopefully I will see you guys soon.